Today is July 19th. It is Saturday. We are in the Five Bogs area. We are planning anyway to do a couple of technical tests today in addition to travel to the southernmost bog, which is beyond the Five Bogs to the south. Something we do all number of years. It is in the direction of where I believe that the family unit has migrated a few years ago, trying to pick up their trail again. No success, but you never know. Maybe they have a circuit they work and we can get lucky that way. Anyway, the technical tests today, we are testing a LoRaWAN transceiver and a Zoleo operating at the same time to see if there's a way to get a, there's a protocol over the internet called MQTT that may or may not work with a satellite connection. That's kind of the test. If it doesn't work, it was a shot in the dark. The other one, I had been griping last week about the drone applications not working due to basically planned obsolescence, and there may be a fix, and I'm going to be testing that today. It's a location service based thing I'm trying to figure out, and we'll see how that goes. Beyond that, we're looking for sign and anything that occurs to me in the course of the narrative from the community. We'll see what goes on with that, but in the meantime, let's come on along. The weather's kind of nice today. We're low 70s, little way of wind, so if we do get the drone up, it'll be a good day for that. Let's see what happens, and we'll see where the day goes. Thanks. We're back. We have covered some ground. We are into the meadow where my feet are definitely going to get wet to some degree. And the technical aspects of the day, the LoRaWAN does not seem to be picking up a signal, but out in the middle of nowhere over a technological unknown being the Zoleo satellite signal. It's one of those combinations of technology where in and of itself there's not really any reason why it shouldn't work. But you're also up against, if there's a proprietary piece to Zoleo's network that keeps it from working, there's also, given the time of day and the difference in time zones, are you in a situation where you're going to detect any other nodes out there? It doesn't seem like in my neck of the woods you start picking them up until after 7, 8 o'clock when the central and Western time zones are more active. Trying to remember where I jumped this thing last. And due to that, let's see where we are. Again, the age-old bitch. If you don't know where the hell you're putting your feet, this gets irritating. Because this shit gets deep. And I want to say I jump closer to over here because I can actually see a little bit better distance and how wet I'm getting if I mess it up. But I think from here to over there I can land and not do that. So let's move into this region. So that's that. The other interesting thing I did during the week, randomly farting around with the various drone apps that power my DJI drones, the subject of last week's rant, is, interestingly enough, at least when I have a valid internet signal, the on the and the VPN is active on the East Coast. There's a bug in the location service, apparently. That is the nature of the instability on the Galaxy S10. Keeping the DJI Go 4 app from playing nice. And I thought I could hopefully trick it out today with a VPN signal and Wi-Fi to the controller and it looked like it wanted to work, but no dice. So that leaves me with the option of either A, doing the same test next week or tomorrow with my Mavic Mini and seeing if I can make that happy, or if I am going to get a Potensic Atom SE, which is a relatively price-friendly drone, and see if I can resume my aerial efforts with that. Since between the FAA and DJI themselves, they've made the situation somewhat unworkable. Sorry, it's just these big clumps of grass I'm trying to not kill myself over. And that's kind of the fun, is that the other bit of situational vulnerability is any of these lower end, well, not lower end, but lower price point drones are made in China, namely by Holy Stone, Potensic, and DJI, although the newer DJI ones are basically subject to undue levels of government overstepping into my personal business. And the thing is, because the other ones are made there too, there's no guarantee that's not going to happen with them at some point. They're just not on the DJI hit list yet. But is that like they're not going to be, or is that just yet? So that's the fun of that. But so we're going to focus on a ground-based assault today, because the other one, it just isn't an option today. And even it occurred to me after the fact, even if I did get it to work, they want you to log into the DJI mothership. So the question then becomes, if I do that, which I can do when I have a signal again, will the drone launch without undue BS? And we won't know that till we have those conditions. Maybe that'll bypass the Signal VPN thing. Before I get an Atom SE, though, I am definitely going to check the supported phones and all that, because I'm not getting another phone just to fly a drone. I have my S9, which actually I'm going to try that on the way out. I have that charged a little bit, and that theoretically could put the drone in the air. I'll try that on the way out. Hypothetically, that could work. It only has Wi-Fi anyway, so that's, of course, I find the one crappiest route through these lovely grabber miscreants in order to get through here. But I hate these things. I truly do. But before I go and drop $200 and change on an Atom SE, I want to know the effing thing is going to work, because they're not the only show in town. They're just the one that seem to get the best reviews right now for drones in that price point. And again, I'm going to make the argument a lot of the underlying FAA BS is money grab in nature, because the they're pushing for, of course, buy American, and America means either these ginormous things that I can't really, for any real practical purpose, bring into an area like this anyway. To do what I do out here, you need a foldable drone, a small form factor foldable drone. And the thing about the SC that's nice, like the Mavic Mini, is it's under the weight class that demands FAA regulation or registration, which I have done. And then they made it so you needed to get a certificate to fly as an amateur, and I did that. Not a hard test. 99% of it is common sense. But that being the case, the having something light enough that you can just use without having to worry about the extortionists on the FAA bothering you is kind of a nice thing. 99% of the reason why I haven't bothered to monetize my YouTube channel is drones. Kara and Nate, a travel blogger, got fined, I want to say like $5,000 for flying their drone over a national park out west. And right now we are in a national forest. The point being, according to the oversteppers, that is operating a business on government land without a permit. And of course, we can't have that, because then they're not getting their money. And Uncle Sam doesn't like money. I always thought Bitcoin was a funny thing, because people were like, in the beginning, not that I am a crypto bro, but their idea was, you're making money without taxes. How long do you think that's going to last? Until the government gets wind of it and says, we can't have that. Income without income tax? No, that's not happening. Uncle Sam won't have that. That's not how Western society works. Well, any modern society. And whether you agree with it or not, that is how that works. Either I haven't come in here this time of year. I don't remember this being this much of a pain in the rear. But we're almost there. And for the fun and games, we're just gonna use this one because it's a little bit more steady right now than having the other one bounce around on my shoulder and having to constantly readjust it, which is going to be a source of probably mutual annoyance until I'm on more steady ground, because bouncing through here, you bounce through here to get to this end. But better. Anyway, I probably am bouncing this thing around too, but just in case you didn't appreciate what we just came through, this right here, clawing through this kind of undergrowthy stuff, and surprisingly not really nicked up that bad. So yeah, I'll try the S9 on the way out, because allegedly that one still works with a spark. The fun of that, though, that's not a technological fix. That's a band-aid from the standpoint that the The phone has a cracked display, so how long does that hold up? One has to wonder. Sorry. I am going to save battery, barring an emergency. Otherwise, I have to cannibalize the power bank that my LilyGo T-Deck is operating off of currently in testing the LoRaWAN. But since I'm not really getting a signal, I ought to just unplug it and save the juice on that too, barring an emergency. And I think that I will. So before we head out into this, I'm going to take a quick break and do that. So bear with me 1 second. We're into the goop, and as I was just observing, if you don't observe, it's a little bit higher than it was last year. You cut your entry too close to the left and you end up in the water without expecting it. There's really no easy way to navigate this though. This shit's deep and you really can't see where you're putting your feet, so you just kind of feel as you go until you get to a spot that opens up a little bit, like up here, which I think may put us either in or right on the water. No, it's dry. Okay. Sort of dry, but I don't know if that beaver dam was there last year, so I might be always a little higher. But you also, to the guy who abandoned his trailer and left a big bunch of crap and burnt it out, you suck. You just kind of suck. Anyway, rather than dwell on what is or isn't working today, we'll try the S9 theory once we cover some ground in here. It's a little less warm today. It's still not cold by any stretch, but you can barely move through this stuff. Okay. So you notice I don't go all the way through on that stuff because it's just easier said than done. In the community this week, really don't know if there's anything really going on. We could rag on the Believer group that I left, mainly because they keep trying to pull you back in. Very reminiscent of old days of AOL when you want to leave because their service just sucks that bad. And they keep offering you like 3 months and 3 months. And you try to log on over dial-up. I'm aging myself, by the way. And just nothing but rolling updates. You never use the damn thing. And the thing was just not the greatest application out there. I should have had CompuServer ICQ because that was just a better app. Good Lord, this shit is thick and deep. I want to get over there, but this is proving difficult. Aye. Definitely getting a leg workout today. If this was all just this waist deep scrub rush crap, probably would just turn around. Try to just go in there. Easier going. But we got this far, so Trying to remember if I have a full battery on the S9. I know I charged it a little bit. I don't think, but for the sake of knowing if it's still a viable solution with the drones I have, is sufficient to serve the purpose of the test. Anyway, since we have the field conditions to determine that. As I struggle to remember if getting this far was as much of a pain in the ass last year. I honestly don't remember it being this hard. But I also probably went earlier in the summer, so depending on the amount of rain and the like, the shit in your way may not have been so tall. Man. Whew. And I've lost my sunglasses. The forest has eaten another pair of sunglasses, because in this, unless on the way out I find them by token luck, they're probably in the woods. But that is what it is, I guess. Anyway, I'll have to avoid some eye pokey places then, just because you lost your eye protection. Yeah, they're gone. So, I'm trying to think of anything going on in the community. Yeah, the believer group is like AOL kind of. They keep trying to like, join our group. There's no reason to. It is, as others have accurately depicted, either a bunch of AI generated nonsense or two guys with fake Arab names posting pareidolia bullshit, or a lot of nothing, and yawns to that lot of nothing. Okay, now I gotta remember where I crossed over here. It's somewhere at an angle over here. And I'm really gonna make my effort to use Bullwinkle's way of going. Find the path of least wear and tear. And all that. If you tried getting back through this and you had done anything to your ankle, you're not in for a fun time. No, you got to be careful. So, if I remember right up in there, if I'm going that far today, let's get up to the water line. See, there was a spot here that wasn't so bad. This is not it. As you can hear, I'm already hitting the water. I can't see where it begins or ends. It is definitely deeper now that my feet are wet. That point is kind of moot. Let's see what we have here. Now it's definitely deeper this year. So, I mean, it's not that deep. It's not that cold. So I am going to, what am I going to do here? If you drop into this and go across that, you're going to get wet, but it's, I guess the question becomes, how wet do you want to get? So I think I'm going to take a segment break, and I'm going to ponder my thoughts of getting in there or not. And we'll take it from there. Not mad about the sunglasses. They're a cheap little $12 pair from Lowe's. That's all right. I get those in like a 4-pack, so it is what it is. All right, let me think this through and I'll get back in a few. I'll be back. Sometime later, we're back. We went a little ways across the river. We came back, or not the river, the stream. Went in a ways. We're on our way back now. On the way, we're going to conduct the Galaxy S9 test and see if that's a viable thing to get the drone in the air or not. Haven't done that in months. I don't know if it wants an update on the app, so we're doing this one just to see how far it gets. And we'll take things from there. If not, I have some thinking to do about the future of my drones. It's been kind of quiet today. We'll keep an ear out for any activity on the way back. But my legs definitely got a full workout going through the tall, meadowy stuff you saw me going through. So it's not like we didn't get a little bit of a sweat in, so there's that. But tentatively, like, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.